When I returned to Veridia, life quickly snapped back into its usual rhythm. School, part-time jobs, long nights hunched over textbooks. It was busy, familiar, and honestly, a little overwhelming. But no matter how chaotic things got, Howe and I always found time for each other. A quick message during my lunch break. A voice call right before I fell asleep. We'd send random photos throughout the day, sharing every little thought, every worry, every piece of our lives. It felt like the distance between us didn't matter at all. At least not yet. Then one day, he told me he had bought his plane ticket. He was coming to Veridia to see me. I was a mix of pure excitement and nervous jitters, already counting down the days. But around that same time, a frightening new respiratory virus started making headlines. COVID-20. People who caught it struggled to breathe, lost their senses, and in severe cases, it could be deadly. The outbreak was still small, confined to a tiny city in Kwando, which was quickly locked down. Most people didn't even know about it yet. Everyone assumed it would be contained. Still, I couldn't help but worry. An airplane seemed like the worst place for a virus to spread. But Howe was calm, reassuring me over the phone. "It'll be okay," he said. "Don't worry too much." And I tried to believe him. Then, one day before his flight, everything changed. A global announcement went out to every country in the world. Borders were closing. No international visitors allowed. Only citizens returning home would be accepted. The virus has spread at an unbelievable speed. Cases and deaths were rising by the hour. Hospitals were overwhelmed. People were panicking. And just like that, Howe's flight was canceled. We were devastated, but still hopeful. We kept telling each other that the outbreak would pass quickly, that life would return to normal, and that we would see each other soon. But the situation only grew worse. The world went into lockdown. People stayed inside. Streets were empty. Cities fell silent. Eventually, vaccines were developed, but they were still in the early stages. Life began to resume, but with strict rules: masks, social distancing, constant inspections. Only infected people had to quarantine fully, and then one day, I became one of them. I got sick. I was weak, exhausted, and completely alone in my room. When Howe called, I tried so hard to act strong, but the moment I heard his voice, I just burst into tears. Thankfully, I'd been vaccinated, so my symptoms weren't life-threatening, just draining, painful, and incredibly isolating. 14 days of solitude. Meanwhile, Howe's job has shifted entirely to remote work. He rarely left his house, so at least he was safe. And so, our days continued, quiet, distant, waiting for the world to heal, waiting for borders to open, waiting for the moment we could finally meet again, waiting for a love to cross a distance that neither of us had ever chosen. What happens next? Follow and subscribe for the next episodes and more interesting stories for all ages.